But you had apex predators and prey in a wooden box for a year. How did you manage the dietary urges of a lion when there's a lamb right next door? Was it pure chaos?
My biggest struggle wasn't building the ark. Don't fear the isolation. If the world calls you crazy for following the voice, it's usually because you're seeing a horizon they haven't noticed yet.
We're here in a quiet corner of heaven that smells like fresh cedar and ancient history. I'm sitting with a man who, for 120 years, was the most mocked architect in human history. He built the impossible in a place where it made no sense. Today, he's still at it, though now it's just for the love of the craft. Noah, thank you for letting me visit your workshop and interrupt your project for a bit.
It's no trouble at all. Welcome. It's a bit different building here. In the old life, every hammer strike felt like a countdown to judgment. But here, I build because I finally find peace in the wood itself. There's no dust in the lungs, no blisters on the hands, and most importantly, no one calling me a lunatic from across the fence. It's a good place to talk.
Looking at your tools here, I can't help but think of the logistics. People imagine the Ark as this quiet, zen space, but you had apex predators and prey in a wooden box for a year. How did you manage the dietary urges of a lion when there's a lamb right next door? Was it pure chaos?
It was a supernatural shift in temperament. Honestly, the atmosphere inside changed. Gather every kind of food, the voice told me. We saw lions eating dried grass and fruits as if it were the most natural thing in the world. It was a glimpse of a mini-heaven before the world reset. But the physics? That was a nightmare. One time, the elephants moved to one side to look out a window, and the whole ship tilted so hard we all thought it was over. My daughters-in-law had to become the first animal traffic controllers to keep the balance. If God hadn't held the hull, we would have been seasick for 370 days straight.
You sent out a dove. That's a lot of pressure on a small bird. If she hadn't come back, or if she just disappeared into the blue, would you have broken down? Talk to me about that specific anxiety of waiting for a sign.
That dove was like family. When she first came back exhausted because there was nowhere to land, my heart broke. It felt like the world was still a void. But when she brought back that olive leaf, that tiny piece of green was the paycheck for 100 years of unpaid labor and a year of total isolation. It wasn't just a leaf, it was the moment God's promise finally collided with physical reality. I didn't just see it, I felt it in my bones.
For over a century, the sky was bone dry. No rain. Your neighbors probably thought you were having a 120-year-long mental breakdown. Did you ever wake up, look at this massive wooden skeleton and think, I'm hallucinating this whole command? How did you kill the ego that says, you're wrong?
Every single morning when the sun hit that dusty ground, I had to choose my eyes or the voice. My emotions told me I was a fool. My neighbors' laughter confirmed it, but I anchored my sanity not in the weather, but in the character of the one who spoke. I had to realize that God isn't slow. He's just incredibly patient, giving people every last second to change. My biggest struggle wasn't building the ark. It was the daily choice to believe the promise more than my own feelings.
When the first drop finally fell and the door was shut, the Bible says God shut it, not you. What happened inside you? Was it relief, or was it the heavy realization that you were right, but the rest of the world was lost?
It was a terrifying silence. When that door clicked shut, 120 years of noise and mockery just stopped. I realized in that second that God never makes empty threats or empty promises. My obedience wasn't some heroic deed. It was the only thing that was real. The loneliness of the past century vanished because I was finally standing on the proof. The lesson for anyone listening is this: obedience always ends in vindication, even if the wait feels like a lifetime.
Last one, Noah. There are people watching this in 2026 who feel completely isolated because they're trying to walk a path of integrity in a world that mocks them. They feel like they're building an ark in a desert. What do you say to them?
Don't fear the isolation. If the world calls you crazy for following the voice, it's usually because you're seeing a horizon they haven't noticed yet. Your ark, those small daily acts of obedience that no one cheers for, might look like a waste of time today, but it's the very thing that will carry you through the storm. Keep building, even in the heat, even when it's sunny, because the rainbow is coming, and I'll be here waiting to give you a massive hug when you finish your build.
Noah, this has been an honor. Thank you for your time. That wraps up our conversation with Noah. If you're curious about other figures or have any questions about today's episode, please let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, take care.